Wow. Would you look how high inflation is right now? Jeez, it's hurting my business so much. These past few months, I've lost so much money, thanks to customers paying for my merchandise with dollars that are worth less than before. And I can't change my prices because everything is for a buck. Everything's for a buck. What do I do? Just hope my employees don't ask for a raise. They have to do some laying off. Uniform changing. Like, why do we all have to wear blue?
Hey, Peter, can you please come over here for a second? Hey, Peter. So, while you were over there at your desk, we were here discussing a few things, and I'm thinking it's about time for a raise, man.
Guys, inflation and unemployment are high.
Oh, okay. So inflation is the general increase in prices of goods and services in an economy over a period of time. No wonder things are getting more expensive.
We just really need a raise because there's no one like us that has the shelving skills that we do. The way we organize things, clean up after ourselves, there's no one with the morale that we have, alright? He can tell you. Tell him some more, man.
Yeah, I mean, look how those crackers are placed. It's so perfect. Like, it says, buy me.
Yeah, see, you
right
might
next
be
to
really
the
proud of your organizing skills, but if you haven't noticed, the unemployment rate is at 10% right now. So if I did fire you, you'd probably not be able to find another job. So, sorry.
The unemployment rate is the amount of people looking for work divided by the amount of people in the labor force. In the United States, the natural rate of unemployment is 5.5%.
Bill, are you on your phone again? Come on, man. Here, I'll show you. Phillips curve, come on. The Phillips curve represents the relationship between unemployment and inflation. As unemployment increases, inflation decreases, and vice versa. The x-axis represents the unemployment rate, while the y-axis represents the inflation rate. The curve I drew is the short run Phillips curve, and the long vertical curve is the natural rate of unemployment. But luckily, neither of you are paying attention, so you don't know that it's not high unemployment right now, but rather high inflation.
Hey, were you talking about inflation? Because my aunt back in the 70s lost a bunch of money through investing in treasury bonds.
Bill, come on.
Well, a treasury bond is a security from the government that has payments, and it lasts like 30 years, semi-annually, at a fixed rate. The freaking government was trying to use open market operations, which are buying or selling bonds. You know what? She should have kept track of the nominal interest rates because the government was practicing expansionary fiscal policy.
No, what she should have done was look at the real interest rate, which accounted for the inflation rate at the time, instead of looking at the nominal interest rate, which did not count in for inflation. What the government was using was a contractionary policy, which increased interest rates, decreased the money supply, which also decreased government spending, instead of using a expansionary fiscal policy, which give tax cuts and increases government spending.
So for some reason, our mic decided to transform into a potato from here on out. So yeah.
The x-axis of the loanable funds diagram is the real interest rate. The y-axis of the quantity of loanable funds, this is the demand for loanable funds, and this is the supply for loanable funds. On the money market diagram, the x-axis is nominal interest. The y-axis is the quantity of money. This is the demand for US dollars. This is the supply of US dollars. It is vertical because the Federal Reserve controls the money supply.
That's dumb. The government should just sit tight and not do anything. As this law says, supply creates on demand. Here, let me show you.
The y-axis represents the general price level. The x-axis represents real GDP, which is the output of an economy adjusted for inflation. Demand 1 is the initial demand. The demand curve shifts to the right to meet full employment. We have the short run aggregate supply curve, the long run aggregate supply curve, which means full employment.
You're one of those classical economists, huh? People believe that the economy will fix itself in the long run. But guess what, Bill? In the long run, we're all dead.
I'm still here, guys. Well, my grandma went through the Great Depression, and she actually switched her beliefs to Keynesian economics because she realized that the government needed to intervene to, smooth out the business cycle.
Monetary policy is the way to go.
No, you have to use fiscal and monetary policy, man. Fiscal policy is the use of government spending and tax cuts in order to keep people spending during a recession. And government spending is, the government spending money, as in building bridges, roads, and, doing activities in order to give people jobs. Tax cuts, of course, less to pay in taxes.
Well, I guess you can say inflation really sucks.
Yeah!
The end. Some change. Too bad hyperinflation happened. Just a dramatic increase in prices.